I never liked Louisville, even while I was getting recruited. But I just don't like the Cardinals. Their fans are, kind of snobbish. Their players are acting entitled. It's just, a lot of pent-up aggression towards them.
Let me talk to you.
All right, guys, welcome back here to the Kentucky Neckbeard here. I've been kind of putting this video up, so I was really excited last night. Got watching football. Never did the video yesterday. My apologies, but I got one message for you, from you damn tards down there in Louisville. Who is your motherfucking daddy? Kentucky owns y'all's ass. We own the state. We went down there to damn Papa Smurf Stadium, the Cardinal Stadium, whatever the hell you want to call it, the L&N Credit Union down there. And we came in there and collected our rent, our yearly rent. That's all we did. I wasn't very happy at halftime. I wasn't too sure Kentucky was actually going to pull it off at halftime. But in the second half, Kentucky came out and did exactly what I wanted them to do. They came out and threw the ball. They got Devin Leary going. I'm not saying he was great. He did make one terrible pass. And Kentucky got a huge win. It is what it is. When you're 6-5 going in that game, Louisville's number 10 team in the country, and they're sitting 10-1. And you go in there and you keep the little brother out of the college football playoffs, and destroy their season. I mean, the best they're going to do now is the New Year's Six Bowl. And after they lose to Florida State next weekend, that's out of the question too, I'm sure. They're still going to a good bowl game, a better bowl game than Kentucky. But that record, it just doesn't say much about that team. That team's a decent team. It's not a good team. Because Kentucky's not a good team. Kentucky's a decent team. To be a good team, you got to show you're a good team. You got right now, you probably got two great teams out there. And even Alabama didn't look at yesterday, as they barely squeaked by. Auburn. But Alabama and Georgia, they're just playing different level of football right now. And really, the big question was no Jim Harbaugh. Michigan's still right there too. I think those are your best three teams right there in the country. You still got Florida State's undefeated. You got Washington undefeated. But neither one of those teams actually look great either. They've been kind of squeaking by. Florida State, of course, lost Jordan Travis. So, we'll see. I still think Louisville loses to Florida State, though. The best highlight to me yesterday was, if you watched the first half of the game, maybe even, I think it was actually the first drive after Louisville came out at halftime and took it down and scored a touchdown. Jack Harlow is, of course, everybody should know who he is. He's a big, R&B rapper right now. He's actually from Louisville. I do like his music, don't get me wrong. I guess I kind of like it because his one album, he raps a lot about from where I'm from, the part of Louisville I'm from. My area. But he kept flipping off UK fans, especially when Louisville scored that touchdown. So when Kentucky actually scored the game-winning, what ended up being the game-winning touchdown, Ray Davis went right up to him and threw the L's down. People, you can say what you want to say, but when Jack Harlow was acting a fool, flipping off, believe it or not, a lot of Kentucky fans like him. Like his music. It is what it is. But you want to act a fool like that, you deserve to get a couple L's down. But that's beside the point. Kentucky came in. They handled business. Once again, your boy was right. Not even to mention, I hit a 9-team parlay yesterday, including the Iowa under on, I guess that was Friday. But I ended up winning $1,100 off of that. Not even counting and plus I had Kentucky money line by itself. Plus they were in that parlay. So I hit pretty good. I kept telling y'all the one thing: Kentucky owns Louisville. I told y'all Kentucky was going to beat Louisville. It came down to it. It was a little closer than even I thought it was going to be. I mean, in the preseason, I thought Kentucky was just gonna roll over Louisville. I thought Jeff Brum was gonna need more than one season. Jeff Brum's a hell of a coach. Congrats to Louisville on a tough game, but still, L's down. And I want to bring up one more thing because I got watching Georgia Tech, and I fell asleep during that game. And I woke up like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and my phone was blowing up with stuff about Mark Stoops leaving to go to Texas A&M. I don't know what to believe here, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff saying Mark Stoops is already saying goodbye to Kentucky. Told some people in Kentucky he was leaving. It was reported that Texas A&M was ready to hire Mark Stoops today. I don't know. I mean, it's media. What can you believe? What can you not believe? I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. There's a lot of stuff that gets wrapped up in the media. I don't think Mark Stoops is trying to get a pay raise. I'll tell you that right now, because we already pay him, I think, close to $10 million a year. I think it's like $9.8 million or something around there. Because he was making just a little bit more than Cal. But I think Cal Perry done got another contract where he makes a little more than Stoops now. So I don't think it's one of those things. It may be fans like myself who take this stuff way too serious and critique every little thing. And I believe Kentucky could be a lot better than what they are. I really do. I think Stoops is proving you can win at Kentucky. And you can do big things at Kentucky. I guess I'm glad Stoops isn't leaving, because it was reported that by Matt Jones, who does KSR, Kentucky Sports Radio, that he talked to a credible source. I'm assuming, because he is good friends with Mark Stoops and Vince Marrow, who is, if you don't know who Vince Marrow is, he is our recruiting coordinator, tight end coach. We pay him a lot of money for those two things. But I'm assuming he hit one of those two up, and they are the ones that said he wasn't going nowhere. Mark Stoops put a tweet out last night saying that he isn't going nowhere. He's glad to be a Kentucky Wildcat. Blah blah blah. So I don't know how true the actual reports were. If he was really about to leave Kentucky, I don't know. I just don't. I think Texas A&M fired Jimbo Fisher for the exact same reasons that Mark Stoops has kind of done at Kentucky. Fans like me who have high expectations for Kentucky football, now I know it. I go a little too high. Every year, we end up being, I think he's had two 10-win seasons. Both of them, though, came after both victories. So his best regular season record has only been 9-3. He has a lot of 7-5s. I think we have 1-8-4 in there. I think. But I mean, so my expectations are a little high from what he's putting out there. So that's on me, though. I guess a 10-win season kind of put me over the top. And I'm actually a bigger Kentucky football fan than I'm a basketball fan. Mainly because I don't like Calipari. I don't. I grew up when we had Rick Pitino and Tubby Smith, and we were winning championships. And we were going further than, first or second round in NCAA tournament every year. But I'm not talking basketball here. So that's what, I don't know. Maybe I don't believe that Stoops was even really going to Texas A&M. I don't even think Texas A&M really wanted him. I think it was just like the media, maybe his agent putting stuff out there just to see if he could get a little more money from Kentucky. I'm just going to tell you right now, Kentucky's never paid a coach like they pay Mark Stoops. Not a football coach anyways. And they definitely haven't paid coordinators and recruiting coordinators, that type of stuff, the way we're paying our coaches right now. Because Brad White, who I think needs to look in the mirror everybody talks about how good Kentucky's defense is. Kentucky's defense. I think they need to look in the mirror on that side. I think we're running outdated defense. Just me personally. We run like a 3-5-5, pretty much a nickel set. That's pretty much that's our set. But we play a lot of, I guess the best way to put it is 5 to 8 yard cushions at DBs. I just think we need to play a lot more. We play a lot of zone. I mean, you gotta get better over there. This year, our blaring weaknesses was defensive backs and like safeties and corners. I mean, we have, I don't know, Maxwell Hairston was our best corner this year. I think he's a sophomore or junior. It definitely was his first year playing, but he did good. But they kind of picked on Andrew Phillips, our other corner, and I think our passing defense sucked. So what I'm kind of looking forward to is I would like to see these coaching staff before the bowl game take a good, long, hard look at their scheme, their coaching ability, but their coaching, how they're coaching, and just everything, and just change it up. Let's see a different type of bowl. See a different type of Kentucky in that bowl game. Kentucky finished 7-5. I mean, if you really think about it, that's like Music City Bowl, Independence Bowl, Liberty Bowl. Things Kentucky fans are just not really going to get up for. Maybe in Music City Bowl, just because of how close it is to Kentucky. I mean, it's a 2.5 hour drive from Louisville. I think it's like a 4-hour drive or 5-hour drive from Lexington, somewhere around there. But other than that, man, it just that was like the 3 bowls that popped in my head. I haven't looked at the poll projections. I just want to see a different Kentucky. I would like to see Liam Cohen, like he's talked about, opening up, spreading out the offense a little more, going a little more spread look. Speeding up going a little faster tempo. I just think, you got a bowl game. It's not the playoffs. It's not going to be a New Year's Six bowl. It's not even going to be the third tier there. I mean, playoffs are tier 1. New Year's Six is like tier 2. And we're not even going to go to that tier 3 there. Like the Citrus Bowl down in Orlando. We're not going there. That type of thing. We're not going down there. Yeah, it'd been nice to go to Florida, but if you wanted to go to Florida, you should have beat South Carolina and finished 8-4. I just don't see us going south, that far south anyways. I don't see us going to Florida. And so why not just come out and you're talking about revamping this offense. You're talking about making changes here and doing this differently. Let's see it in the bowl game. Let's get Kentucky fans excited for next year. Because, I mean, the past 2 years definitely have been disappointments. There's no reason for us to lose to Vandy and South Carolina last year. There's definitely no reason for us to lose to South Carolina this year. And really, I know Missouri was good. And there's no reason to get blown out by Alabama. There's no reason to get blown out by Georgia. Losing to them is one thing. But we got destroyed by both of them. And Alabama destroyed us on our home field. You don't get blown out at home. I'm sorry. That's just one thing you just don't do. I don't care who you're playing. You do not lose a game 35-7 in the third quarter. It was 35-7 in the third quarter. I left that game, the Alabama game. I mean, the Georgia game was never close. We were playing undisciplined. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And I've rambled on a little too much here. I'm just saying, let's just put it all out there let's give it a try when we go to our bowl game. I mean, years past, 7-5 have been good for Kentucky. I'm sorry, it's a disappointing season this year that followed up by a big win against Louisville. Me personally, it shouldn't have been a big win against Louisville. That should have been a game that, even if Louisville was 10-1, still, Kentucky should have been, had 8, maybe, I'll say 8 wins going into that game. So, they should have been sitting at 8-3. I'll give them the Georgia game, loss. Alabama game, I'll give that loss. I mean, but you lost to Tennessee and Missouri. You could easily won one, if not both of those games. So you could have went into the Louisville game at 9-2, looking for a 10-win regular season win. 10-2, 10 regular season win season. It didn't happen, and it is what it is. I think at times this team's got kind of lost and got down. When we got down, they just kind of gave up. I hate to say it, but it's kind of what it was. Like a perfect example is we're up 14-0 to Missouri, and first quarter, second quarter, Missouri goes for a fake punt. Pass interference, no pass interference, it doesn't matter. But they scored a touchdown, 14-7. You still got every right, every fucking thing in front of you. You still got the lead. They should not have been able to score. I think they ended up taking like a 28-14 lead at one point in time, or something like that. That wasn't that. They didn't do that. They ended up going up 20-14. That's what they did. They routed off 20 straight points, and then Kentucky came back in the fourth quarter. It took a 21-20 lead. You're at the end of the third. Either the end of the third or beginning of the fourth. One of those two. But in the fourth quarter, they had a 21-20 lead. That, again, they led 14-0. I'm sorry, that should never happen. The final score ended up being I think it was 38-21 or something. Or 20, yeah, I think it was 38-21. Where it looked like a blowout. When really that game was close and a tight game. And I done talked about the Georgia and the Alabama game. I mean, Tennessee game, that was right there for us too. That's all I want to see. I've rambled on, and I apologize, guys. But I'm going to get off here because I need to get some sleep anyways. I got to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go deliver a load. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you ain't already done so, please give me a thumbs up. A like, subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends. I mean, it was a disappointing season, but Bo win and an 8-5 year, I'll take it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.